Constructed from silver gilt, the main body of the British imperial state crown takes on a rich golden hue, encrusted with 5 rubies, 11 emeralds, 17 sapphires, 269 pearls, and 2,868 various types of diamonds. The jewels glitter with luxury, the velvet glows with elegance, and the whole crown dazzles with solemnity. Nobody would doubt its gorgeousness. It's the epitome of extravagance, a perfect combination of human artistry and craftsmanship, and a significant symbol of supreme sovereignty. The beauty of the crown is breathtaking, but how do we understand this powerful beauty? In The White Bird, John Berger claims that
beauty is encountered, and encounter is by its nature sudden and unpredictable.
Meaning that the nature is unpredictable when beauty derives from this unpredictability. Regarding the white bird as an example, by carefully slicing blocks into thin layers to mimic the bird's features and wings through several complex procedures, people use wood, with its qualities of lightness, pliability, and texture, to make a wooden bird similar to a real bird. However, the crown is different. The crown doesn't attempt to respond to nature, nor does it mimic nature. Gold and jewels pile up together, implying the power of royalty and religious meaning, being made for sovereigns. This crown not only represents a country, but also symbolizes a nation with a rigid hierarchy and class differentiation, because nobody, except the ones in a position of power, could own it. As a result, the crown is not a human's response to nature's beauty. This crown simplifies people's obedience and awe to the hierarchy of an authoritarian society. The artistry in this crown could be further analyzed by the enlightenment it brings to humanity. Lauris Wechsler's Vermeer in Bosnia explains how Johannes Vermeer's artworks encourage people to focus on individual qualities and lead people to a breaking of the historic cycle of vengeance-inspired ethnic mayhem.
By appealing to the inside peacefulness within individuals against the turbulent society, Vermeer's artworks enlighten people to end the endless vengeance among groups and to embrace the variety of understandings. For example, Vermeer's The Girl with a Pearl evokes people's attention to the girl's inner thoughts and personal motions and arouses various understandings of this portrait, such as female autonomy and self-sufficiency in the face of the male gaze. The complexity of individual portrayal in Vermeer's works reflects a respect for the autonomy of individuals, rather than representing this girl by a certain category of women, relying on stereotypes.
Unlike Vermeer's respect for the complexity of individuals, the crown concealed the existence of individuals while strengthening royalism. In other words, it reveals nothing about individual aesthetics or the many unknown individuals who made the crown. It simply expresses power. This sphere made of diamond is the monde. Monde is a French word, meaning the world. It represents, as the name suggests, the world that monarch rules. Encrusted with diamonds, the monde on the crown represents a prejudiced understanding of the world, without any concern about individual emotions, feelings, or thoughts. The authentic world is not covered in diamonds. There are diverse and living individuals in the world. However, the crown is adorned with the world's symbols in the form of diamonds, collected at its pinnacle. Many artworks reflect historical context and, in a tolerant manner, allows for various interpretations, evoking the complexity of history and humbly ignorance of humanity in the face of time. In Vermeer in Bosnia, Wechsler mentions that he visited the Vermeers with Afrikaner poet and painter Britenbach. Britenbach pointed out a small boat on a map in the background of a painting by Vermeer. This map is of the Netherlands, and it shows little boats delicately dotted on the map's painted coastline. A historical background. When Cape Town had been founded by the Dutch East India Company only a decade earlier, these ships represented Dutch colonists leaving their homeland to establish a colony in Cape Town, South Africa. This map foreshadowed the turbulent society of Cape Town in its history as a Dutch colony in the following decades. This detail is not the main focus of the painting, but the depth of Vermeer's work allow for such diverse interpretations. In contrast, when it comes to the meaning behind the crown, it is more dogmatic and arrogant, even though it also relates to the South African colonial context. The famous Cullinan II diamond, also known as the Lesser Star of Africa, is set in the middle of the crown. The diamond reveals the darkness of African colonial history and a predatory exploitation of imperial power. To this day, the diamond on the crown remains highly controversial. Not only the Cullinan II diamond, but thousands of rubies, emeralds, sapphires, and diamonds were excavated by laboring workers in gem mines far away from the imperial palace, carefully cut by craftsmen, and finally delivered to the royalty. But not a single individual aesthetic emotion and perception is reflected on it. Every element and gem on the crown is meticulously crafted to showcase the majesty and nobility of the royalty. The crown is the crystallization of the national will centered around the royalty and hierarchy. It not only reflects the ethnic conflicts born out of the exploitation of colonial countries by colonist states, but also embodies the oppression of every individual by the ruling class in an authoritarian society. Without being a response to nature or an enlightenment of humanity, the crown is still considered gorgeous. The beauty of the crown is not derived from enlightening humanity, but from restraining humanity. Berger states that aesthetic emotions derive from a double affirmation of seers and artworks. But is this the way that the crown lets people perceive its beauty? Perhaps not. People owe the symbol of royal power for its formidableness and solemnity. This is not a two-way affirmation, but rather the reverence of people towards the crown and arrogance represented by the sovereignty it signifies. People obey the rigid hierarchy of society and sacrifice their labor to power without any individual expressions. In a sense, the British imperial state crown transforms from a symbol of human creativity to a reflection of authoritarian shadows. Unlike Vermeer's paintings and the wooden white bird with diverse interpretations, this crown, laden with diamonds and draped in hierarchy, conceals the numerous hands that toiled to create it. Its gems, once symbols of luxury, is now stained with the echoes of oppression. While aesthetics enlighten humanity, the crown shines with arrogance, deepening divides. It is a beauty that doesn't resonate with humanity, but tightens its shackles, reducing individuals to functional components in the machinery of power. This crown, in the realm of authoritarian society, warns of perils when power eclipses the individual spirit and reveals the dark side of beauty.